Hey all friends, and welcome to, well, another Gran Skrea Online. Still not sure what the correct pronunciation is, but there you go. So this is going to be like an early game review of, I think, of yeah, just how I found the game so far. You know, the gaming loops and gameplay, all that kind of stuff. I thought I would kind of do this just to give you some sort of idea of, yeah, what you can expect for your first. I mean, when you start the game, you kind of get like a, I don't know if it's a 24 or a 30-hour protection, PvP protection, so no one can kill you wherever you go. But I'll talk about that later. But mine's kind of coming to an end, so I guess I've been playing for about 20 hours or so now. And I thought, yeah, I thought I would, yeah, just give you some thoughts of how I'm finding the game. As you can see, there are some scenes that look really, really nice. I mean, this is full of atmosphere and immersion. I really like this. Really, really good. Anyway, enough of that. What we're going to be doing today, while I talk about the game, is we're going to make our first boat and do some sailing. There we go, small wooden boat. It's as easy as that. Craft. Oh wow, you get a lot of XP for that. Oh, I wonder how much that. I wonder how much. Maybe I should be making boats for some XP gain. I'll check that later. Maybe some carpentry gaining. That would be quite good. Anyway, yeah, here we go. Let's test our boat. Where are we on the map? I think we'll kind of sail around here. Maybe go north. See what we can find. So I'm not sure how you use the boat, but from watching, I think it was Nonnel's video. Oh, I'm in my boat. Oh wow, that's awesome. Oh, my sailing's going up as well. Cool. Oops. Okay. There we go. I like the way your boat just goes into your inventory if you fall out or something. That's awesome. We're sailing towards the moon there. That's really good. So this is my little boat, and I'm gaining sailing XP as we go. I think I can probably fish as well, but I'm not sure if... oh no, it's much too low level for me from a fishing point of view. So we'll sail around the coast here and see what we can find. So far I've found the game a lot of fun. It's immersive. The gameplay loops are really good. What I like, I'll stop here. I'll bring up the map. And what I like about it is that I've been doing lots of crafting in the game, which is unusual for me. I don't normally do crafting. It's just not something that I've really. I'm interested in it. But I think, as I've said before, some games just take it too far and it's just too convoluted. You know, to make a sword, you need to be a dentist, a blacksmith, a carpenter, a rubbish collector, you know, a salesman. It's just stupid. All the skills you need to have just to create one item. I can understand it might be more realistic, but this is a game, you know. And again, I understand that people might enjoy that level of depth, but I don't. You know, I'm one of those people that I've always wanted to do crafting, but I just avoid it because it's just too complicated and it's just too time consuming, and just not fun essentially. But what I like is I've been doing crafting in this game, and so far I haven't had to leave the starter zone for anything that I need. Basically, that's not true. I did reach level 15 in blacksmithing the other day, and I needed to go somewhere else to get some Verum ore, but that's the only time I've had to leave the area to get the stuff I need. As you can see, I built a boat there, so I needed some spruce planks, some oak planks and some nails. So the spruce and the oak trees are quite close by. You get them, it's easy to turn them into planks. Blacksmithing, you get nails, build your boat, you go. Now some people might find that not detailed enough. Maybe they want to make the sail, maybe they want to make the pitch, you know, maybe they want to make every little detail that the boat's got, and that's enjoyable for them. But for me it's not, and I have to say that the crafting in this game, even though some may find it basic, I've really enjoyed it. And I haven't had to do too much to do it. I haven't had to travel miles and spend, you know, it's still grindy. You know, I mean, if I look at my blacksmithing skill, is at 20, for example. I need 5,000 experience, 6,000 experience to go up a level. That's still quite grindy, and you need to work out and find the most convenient and quickest way of raising your skill. It's still got all that, but when it comes to making stuff, I don't feel that I'm being pushed to spending months, you know, raising every skill just to be able to make pitch or wax or whatever it is, that these other little things that so many other systems have in place. So it's been enjoyable because everything that I've needed has been in this one zone. And even, I mean, there are some things you make that does require other stuff, like bones from animals, but they're in this zone, so I can just go and kill them quickly, get some bones, and kind of off you go. You know, that's I love this sailing. This is so relaxing. Another little boat there, but not my own. I wonder if people can steal your boat, because people kind of leave their boats. Maybe he's in there doing some hunting or something. I'm not sure. But we will carry on sailing this way. Yeah, so the gameplay loop with regards to the crafting and stuff has been really good, and the reason I think it's built this way, and it's the one advantage PvP games have, and Ultima Online was the same, is that if someone, because you can die and lose all your loot, or lose a lot of your equipment, you need to be able to get back in the game quite quickly. You know, you can't design a game where it takes months and months of grinding to be able to make stuff, because otherwise people just wouldn't PvP, because you think to yourself, well, if I go out and die, I've got to take months to raise all these skills so I can make myself some stuff, you know, to then get out there again. So I think in this instance, PvP is an advantage with regards to crafting, because they need to make it relatively easy for you to maybe have spare or stockpile materials in the bank, so if you die and lose stuff, you can just carry on going again. You know, they can't have you, because it's PvP, you might be dying quite a lot, so they can't have you dying and then spending tons of time trying to get back to playing the game again, because the crafting system is so convoluted. So I think that's why it's built this way, and Ultima Online was very similar. You know, you didn't need the crafting system was complex just enough so that if you died and you lost your equipment, it wasn't too difficult for you to recover from that. And I think that's the whole point of this. And I would love to see a PvE game do this, to be honest. But you know, it's not something I think we're probably going to see, because people just seem stuck with these really convoluted, overly complex crafting systems. Unfortunately, I guess they feel that it's a time sink, so it keeps people playing the game for longer, I guess, you know. But oops. Okay. I think I'm probably getting too close to the there we go. I think I'm getting too close to the coast there, and it's chucking me out of the boat. So I think what we'll probably do is we'll go up to the blue sea. Let's go up there and see what's what. There we go. Yeah, so I've really enjoyed as someone who doesn't normally craft, I've enjoyed the crafting loop, making my own stuff. It's been really enjoyable. With regards to the rest of the game, I mean, like, you know, graphically, obviously, people are going to take the mick out of it. I like it's quite atmospheric and immersive. I quite like it. I like the fact that the draw distance is quite long. The sound effects are good, so that's all very good. No issues there. To be honest with you, that's probably about as far as it goes at the moment. I haven't, because I'm under PvP protection still. I haven't PvP, so I can't really tell you what that's like. From a combat point of view, I mean, the combat is very, very basic. I would say probably the most basic I've played with regards to like one of these new MMOs. You know, one of these new old school MMOs that are in development. I mean, there's a reason for that as well. Obviously, that's going to be down to PvP. You know, it's difficult to balance a combat system, if each class has got 50 skills. someone's going to find a way to break something. I mean, people are already finding ways to break stuff, and there's only like a few skills for each class. So, you know, the combat with the mobs in the game is okay. You can kite stuff around. There's very little in the way of crowd control. So quite often you're either kiting or you're in the mob's face. And it's all quite basic, and that's been fine. That's not hasn't been too much of a problem. I've mostly concentrated in Elemental Grimoire at the moment, which is like the magic school, I guess. This is interesting. I love this exploration. Where am I? Wow, look at this. The blue sea. Just lots of little islands. Oh my god, there's a... I can see a neck sitting out of the water there. Okay. We'll have an explore, see what happens. See, I haven't died yet. And the game kind of... Oh wow, level 40. Yeah, that's a bit high for me at the moment. Even though I'm PvP averse at the moment, I think if you die even from mobs, you still lose your stuff, or it stays on your corpse. So the game does have that hint of danger, that kind of death penalty that other games have kind of forego, you know, in recent times. So I'm still a bit nervous about dying. I'm hoping I don't lose my boat, but I guess I should have insured it first. This is brilliant. Like, this is so immersive. I really feel like I'm like exploring, you know, and discovering. And there's also a certain amount of trepidation as well, because if I die, you know, there's going to be consequences to that. Yeah, I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. This is really, really good. Whoops, I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm not sure what the aggro range is, but we'll head this way. So yeah, from a combat point of view, it's very basic. What I do quite like is when you craft an item, like my staff here, you get a couple of abilities on it, and basically these are random, which I quite liked. So you can kind of keep making them until you get a combination of abilities that you like. I like Firestorm because it's an area effect around me, which is quite good for farming, just farming mobs. But it might be quite useful to carry like 2 or 3 staffs with different abilities on them. That's quite interesting as well. I quite like that. The same with the melee weapons and the bows and all that kind of thing as well. Yeah, mostly seem to be sea serpents here. I think I should be safe going up this way. Oh, there's 2 there. Holy smokes. We'll keep going around them. Yeah, so PvP I can't comment on. Combat is quite basic, but I've really had a great time playing the game. I've really had a great time so far. For all the reasons that I've mentioned. And if you're not enjoying this out on a boat at sea, you know, exploring, then you're dead inside. That's all I can say. I guess I have to bring up the elephant in the room. There's a couple of comments about it on my last video, and that's PvP. You know, the game is PvP. It is what it is. That's what they've set out to do. It's a PvP loot game, and I'm not going to complain about that. It may well maybe stop me from playing it further in the future, depending on how things go. I've already had a couple of silly experiences. All games have numpties, but I think PvP games allow the numpties to be numpties, if you know what I mean. I had something the other day where a couple of people, much higher level than me, like ridiculously higher level than me, just run up to me because they thought I was killable, but I still had my protection on. And they obviously didn't realise that at the time, and because they couldn't kill me, like whenever they kept following me around, jumping up and down on my character. Whenever I tried to mine a node, they would start mining it as well. I'm not sure if that makes any difference, but yeah, unfortunately, PvP games bring out the numpties. Or no, what I should say is that all MMOs got numpties, but PvP games kind of allow people to be numpties, you know, in ways they can't be. I love this here. Look at this. Oh, we've got to go and look at the Supreme Sea Serpent, even if we die, I think. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so the elephant in the room, PvP, it might be a reason why I kind of stopped playing the game, because there are other games out there that are not PvP that I quite enjoy playing, you know. So it's yeah, there's just because in this new retro MMO market, there's a lot of competition now, you know, and you got to pick the one that, wow, look at that, level 60. Okay, no don't go forward. There we go. What else have we got? I think we've mostly covered the area. The other thing, I think the only negative I've come across so far is that the game world is quite small, it seems. Am I doing it an injustice? I don't think so. I think the game world is quite small. What I would like to see here, for example, maybe this zone has them and I haven't discovered them yet, but what I would like to see here would be some kind of just like caves you can sail into. You know, maybe you land on something, there's a dungeon or a cave, just other content basically. But that's the only other negative I would say, is that yeah, there doesn't seem to be a huge amount of content. But I mean, it's a small team, you know. I guess apart from Shroud of the Avatar and Pantheon, which is still small compared to, you know, World of Warcraft, I'm sure, you know, these retro MMOs that are being developed are quite small teams, you know, and so it takes time. I think it just takes time. But I've given this a good go and I really enjoy it. I mean, if you enjoy a bit of crafting and you like PvP, this is, I think this is the game for you. You know, it's this is the, I know that they say Shroud of the Avatar is supposed to be the spiritual successor to Ultima Online, but this is the game that feels more like Ultima Online out of any of the retro MMOs I've played so far. This is the one that feels more like that. So yeah, and you've got things like this as well, sailing around in a boat in the blue sea. Yeah, just exploring. We'll go north through here and see what we can find. I'm assuming it's just going to be a dead end. But this has been good fun. From a skill system point of view, someone said to me that it's quite similar to RuneScape. Apparently, I mean, basically what happens is that every 5 levels, like blacksmith for example, and this works for all the trade skills, every 5 levels roughly you get a new material to use. Actually no, it's 10 levels here. So Verum is the new material that I create weapons and metal armor with, and it seems as though Stranite is the next one. I think something like tailoring is probably every 5 levels. So yeah, so Moose and Silk level 15, then level 20 it's bear leather and jute robes. So yeah, the gameplay loop is you increase your light armor skill to 20 to 25, and then you make then either you've got it ready or you make level 25 armor for your character. You get to level 30, you increase. Yeah, so I've really enjoyed that I've really enjoyed that gameplay loop where you increase your character's power as you go along. Obviously, you can just do all of the crafting straight away and ignore the combat skills if you wanted. If I was starting the game again and I was wow, let's keep going north. If I was starting the game again, I would probably use the PvP protection hours to just go crazy on the crafting. The combat skills go up really easily, so I would just raise all the crafting stuff. Yeah, just so you've got to a point where you can make yourself quite high level stuff. then level up your combat skills. The other thing as well is that you get hit points every time you raise a combat skill or an armor skill. You get hit points, and you keep those hit points whether you're wearing the armor or not, or the weapon or not. So heavy armor gives 30 hit points per level. I think light armor is 25. So it's worth, until it gets to a point where I guess it's a bit grindy. It's worth raising all of your combat and armor skills just to give yourself extra hit points. I mean, I'm not wearing hardly any armor with hit points, and I've got nearly 2,500. So if I put my armor on, you know, that would give me quite a lot. I think I'm probably sailing into, I don't know what, but we are going to be one of those people that that carries on going. What does sailing do for you? I can probably make a fishing boat, actually. Maybe that's what I've got. General. I wonder if your sailing speed increases as you go up in level. That would make sense. Oh god, I'm lost now. I'm never going to be able to get back. Luckily the map kind of points me in the direction. Anyway guys, I'm going to stop here. My early game impressions of Gran Skrea is that it's been a lot of fun. It's convinced someone like me that crafting systems can be fun. The whole gameplay loop around it, progressing your weapon and armor skills and progressing your trade skills to keep up with each other, that whole loop's really good. It's really interesting. I really like that. It's just been a fun experience. As I said, no PvP yet, but you know, we'll see how we go. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. If I get anywhere, if I come across anything secret, I'll let you know. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon.